I'm reading a piece from my writing collections that I wrote about the prison camp that I was detained in for years and years before coming to Canada. The red water tanks. When I was detained in Pontianak Detention Center in Indonesia, over 220 human beings were packed alongside me in small, boxy cells. These dark grey rooms had no windows, only iron doors. When the last light of the sun slowly disappeared from the topmost reservoir on the high concrete walls, and the unwelcome darkness of the evening fell over the prison security guard shift changed. A new group of guards assumed the responsibility for security. They would enter the prison, their tall, muscular leader holding a large notebook in his hand. The moment they neared the big iron gate, the refugees from every part of the prison quickly gathered and formed themselves into a long line, waiting uneasily for the guards to read their name and lock them in the cells, which they detested. The instant they ordered us to go inside, they would lock the iron gate with massive locks and settle themselves in the CCTV rooms. They would watch the bewildered, silent, and worried faces of incarcerated refugees and laugh at our desperation. And they felt proud, deep in their hearts, for owning the power to detain the refugees who fled war and come to them for so-called protection. There was not enough space to sleep in the tiny cells. Almost every night, before we turned off the lights, there would be arguments among the refugees as they spread out their bedding. Every refugee measured and marked his sitting and sleeping place with a pen. Nobody was allowed to spread his bedding even an inch closer to someone else's territory, because it would spark instant discord and sometimes fighting. At night, we were packed into the cells and locked in. The only amusement we had was our old mobile phones. We didn't have enough mobile data to get connected with anyone outside the prison walls, where life still continued and people would return home to their families from work, school, and sports. We, however, were forbidden even to walk around the prison grounds at night to see the stars up in the sky shining brightly above the earth. As we tried to fall asleep and find comfort in oblivion, sleep ran away from us. With our restless minds and scattered thoughts, we kept pursuing it, but it ran faster. We chased after it to the other side of the prison walls, to the heart of the city, into the beautiful green parks where people walk freely. And we see couples walk hand in hand, laughing at the tops of their voices, happily enjoying the freedom that is their birthright. Then we followed it back into the afternoon of our villages in our country, where we climbed the apricot trees, piled ripe apricots into an iron bucket and washed them with crystal fountain water, ready to serve them when everyone gathered on the flat rooftops of our mud houses. Sleep ran away from us into many far away places until the morning sun shed light into our cells through the window bars. Then we would realize that we were still awake. After some time, the strict rules changed, and we were allowed to stay longer in the prison grounds. This was a great celebration for all the refugees who had not seen outside the prison at night for a very long time. The high grey walls which swallowed us concealed the landscape of the city. Only the sound of activities going on outside the prison could be heard. We would have never been able to see outside the prison if the red water tanks had not been there. They stood high from the ground. On nights of particular celebrations, the refugees would rush to the back of the prison block and take turns climbing to the top of the water tank so as to see outside the prison. Those who arrived late joined the end of the long queue, waiting in joy and excitement. In the midst of this incarceration, climbing bravely onto the water tanks, this would be our only glimpse of freedom. Thank you so much.